Hi, this is Jules, ESR 140. Welcome back to a discussion of resources. Resources are anything obtained from the environment to meet human needs and wants. So here we are looking at a picture of our environment, the water, the plants, the air, anything we can derive from this environment to meet our needs and wants, including energy production, nutrition, water, air, heat, food, anything. So resources have been used for agriculture. Being able to grow food, cultivate food, is an ancient human activity. One problem we have is that many people across the world, in a growing way, have less food security than they really should. So they don't know where their next meal is coming from. And that's a difficult problem to solve, even though industrialized food production produces a huge amount of food. That system is developing in ways that we perhaps did not mean it to develop. So there are some unintended consequences going on with our ability to cultivate our own food from natural resources. Water resources are another type of resource. Water is key to our own health, but also water is key to providing sustainable, renewable energy in the future. There is only so much water on Earth. However, water can be desalinized to be able to become fresh water. That takes a great amount of energy to be able to have that happen. But it is one way of looking at this. So increasingly, conflict over water is predicted to take place in our world. Another type of resources are non-renewable resources. This non-renewable oil, for example, here, has developed over time on the planet, and those resources have been all but used up. Those resources are very powerful, but limited, non-renewable in our lifetimes. That's what that definition actually means. So oil, coal, mineral resources, certain geological minerals, gold, graphene, these are non-renewable resources. Radioactive elements, non-renewable resources. However, they are incredibly powerful and may be a form of energy going forward in the future. This non-renewable resource goes to make much non-renewable energy, and this energy goes to power our societies. Coal, oil, natural gas, nuclear. Another type of resources are renewable resources. These renewable resources, many of which are based on stable sunlight, which hasn't really changed over the eons of the planet's development, create wind and move water for wave energy, wind energy, wave energy, hydro energy that we see very often in the Pacific Northwest in dams. Dams are complicated. They go back to influencing species and species biodiversity. So in increasingly using forms of hydropower, we are reducing biodiversity. So it's a complicated situation. So how is climate change going to influence resources in the future? Let's look at this. Oops, let's look at it this way.
Our planet is vast. It's difficult to comprehend the scale. It's difficult too to comprehend the scale of humanity and the vast changes we've wrought in a lifetime. Population, production and consumption have grown exponentially. Roads, railways, airlines, shipping routes, the digital revolution. We've created a globally interconnected society. Evidence is mounting, we've entered the Anthropocene. Humanity is altering Earth's life support system. Carbon dioxide emissions are accelerating. Greenhouse gas levels are unprecedented in human history. The climate system is changing rapidly. The Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change assesses the risks and options for societies. Its latest report states it is extremely likely humans are the dominant cause of warming in the past 60 years. Without deep emissions cuts, it is likely Earth will cross the target of 2 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels, the target set by international policy. This could happen as early as 2050. If emissions keep rising at current rates, a 4-degree rise by 2100 is as likely as not. It's very likely heat waves will occur more often and last longer. The Arctic will warm faster than the global average. It's likely sea ice will all but vanish in summer within decades if high emissions continue. It's very likely sea level rise will accelerate. Cities and coastal areas are vulnerable. In general, wet regions are set to get wetter, dry regions drier. Monsoons are likely to become longer, their footprint likely to grow, and downpours likely to intensify. The acidity of the ocean has increased 26% since the start of the Industrial Revolution. The full consequences of all these changes on the Earth system are unknown. Humanity's carbon footprint is huge. Societies will need to adapt to climate change. The scale of change depends on decisions made now. Can we remain below 2 degrees? It is possible, but it is up to societies now to decide the future we want. For a likely chance of achieving the 2-degree target, societies can emit another 250 billion tons of carbon. We burn about 10 billion tons of carbon a year. At current rates, we will use this budget in about 25 years.
So you can see that large-scale change to ecosystems resulting from our resource use may influence not only biodiversity but also our human future. So in looking at that sort of change and considering the future of sustainability, I hope you will consider your own ecological footprint and wonder how you play a role in this activity.